Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Calhoun County Joint Information Center briefing for Wednesday, June 16th, 2021. Administrative notes. Our unified command team. Today's additional speaker, the Joint Operations Center lines of effort and priorities, and the purpose of the Joint Information Center, or JIC. Here's our agenda. Leading us off today from the Health Department is Bridget Reichenbaugh. Bridget, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you can see, our numbers for COVID have significantly declined, which of course we love to see that. Our positive cases are currently, or the total is 12,387, as you can see. We have 2 persons in COVID positive people in hospital beds, and we are up to 293 deaths in the county. Next slide. So our vaccine numbers continue to increase. However, we still are highly encouraging individuals to get vaccinated. Currently, the health department has administered almost nearly 40,000 doses. And then again, as you can see on the data, that our numbers from 12 to 64, we're at about 35% that have completed both doses of vaccine. And those 65 years and older are at about 71%. Next slide, please. So again, we are averaging about 5 new cases per day, and which is very good. And that's about what we were seeing last summer. So again, although those numbers are really low, we really encourage those that have not yet gotten their vaccine to get vaccinated, not only to prevent the spread of COVID amongst themselves or in their families, but also throughout the community. And hoping, we're continuing to have drive-through clinics at various places, which I believe on the next slide, please. Yes, we have multiple drive-through clinics that we will be hosting and or attending. There are 2 Juneteenth celebrations this weekend. The health department will be at the Albion location. And I believe Bronson Battle Creek or Bronson Health will be conducting or holding COVID vaccines in Battle Creek at the Juneteenth celebration as well. And then, of course, we have our clinic in Marshall at the old State Farm building. We have our clinics at Kellogg Community College and Mingus Creek over by the ABC warehouse building. We also do vaccines here by appointment at both the Albion and Battle Creek clinics of the health department. I think that's it. Next slide. Yes, any questions? Thank you.
Okay, Bridget Reichenbaugh, thank you for the report. We appreciate it very much. Local government services update, City of Battle Creek City Assistant Manager, Ted Deering. Ted, go ahead.
Thanks, Dirk. Appreciate it. And good afternoon, everyone. Certainly, we can be encouraged by the numbers that we're seeing from the health department. That's great news. And they have led to some operational changes at both the county and the city. And both organizations have now updated their respective preparedness and response plans to reflect the current CDC guidelines and state orders, and they do in both instances provide accommodations for those that are fully vaccinated. So you can find those updated preparedness plans for each entity on each entity's respective website. And I encourage you to go out and take a look at those when you get a chance. I know that Kelly Scott and her team at the county have been doing a great job keeping us updated on the status of county facilities. The Justice Center has a tentative reopening date of July 6th at this point. And if you've been following the news, you know that they resumed jury trials this week. And I believe that the courts have moved to now what's considered phase 3 of their reopening plan, which they did about a week or so ago. And if you're headed to the Justice Complex, just know that masks are required for employees and visitors in the court areas, regardless of vaccination status. So the Toller building, the county building, and the road department are open to the public for their normal summer hours. And at those buildings, face masks are face coverings and social distancing are not required for those who are fully vaccinated, but obviously continue to be required for those who are not vaccinated. And that accounts for both employees and visitors. And the city has been taking a conservative approach to reopening, but now we have implemented some exceptions to the face mask requirements and social distancing requirements for those that are fully vaccinated as well. And the city is planning to reopen facilities at this point to the public on July 19th. And that includes our public works facility, which has been closed throughout the pandemic. So visitors will be required to screen in, as it were, but only really to the extent of confirming whether or not they're eligible for a face covering exception based on the MDHHS guidelines. So I know the County Board of Commissioners is going back to in-person meetings in July. The Battle Creek City Commission will meet virtually during the first meeting in July and August, and actually in person for the second meeting in each one of those months. And the city's various boards and committees will likely feature some in-person meetings and some virtual meetings over the next couple of months as well. So I encourage any interested parties to check out the city's website and our media communications to determine if a particular meeting that you might be interested in is meeting, if those individuals are meeting in person or if they're meeting virtually. We want to make sure that we can continue to engage the public. We don't want people to miss out on opportunities to participate. So I know that might be a little bit confusing, but again, we're trying to reopen with some semblance of caution and really respond to a wide variety of feedback that we've gotten from our many stakeholders about, virtual versus in-person gatherings and more. So finally, I do want to just point out real quickly that there really is still a fair amount of uncertainty out there. The MIOSHA rules are in effect through mid-October, but there are some rumblings about possible changes. The MDHHS face mask and gathering order, I think, is effective until July 1st. That's pretty well known. Not sure what comes next there. The county's state of emergency order does remain in place for now. So, we're going to continue to track what's going on at the federal level, at the state level, and certainly locally, and adjust accordingly with an eye towards what happens in the fall when activities move back indoors. And you heard Bridget kind of comment about the fact that we have to be conscious of the fact that we saw these kinds of numbers last summer as well. And while we've got more people vaccinated, we certainly are not at our desired rate of vaccination. So we'll be cautiously approaching the fall. And that is it for me, Dirk. Thank you.
Okay, Ted Deering, thank you very much for the update. We appreciate it. Coming up next on the agenda, we'll talk about vaccination campaign. Don't hesitate, vaccinate. Is Carla Fales. Carla, take it away.
Thanks, Dirk. It's good to be with you today and see everyone's face. I am excited to talk about this campaign that we have been engaged with. As our previous speakers talked about, there are some things that are starting to open back up. Our senior centers, one opened up June 3rd and the other is opened up July 6th. The seniors have led the way in getting the numbers up and the number of people that are vaccinated. But as our attention looks at reopening, we also need to be cognizant of the fact that there are still some folks that have some some legitimate and real concerns and hesitancy around the vaccine. And so we have engaged in a campaign to help folks understand that that the vaccines are safe, that it's our best course of action. It's the best way to continue to see the numbers be where they need to be. Through funding from the Michigan Aging and Adult Services Agency, we were able to initiate a campaign, Don't Hesitate, Vaccinate campaign, which has been a collaboration between Population Health Alliance, Albion and Battle Creek Vaccine Education Work Groups, the Population Health Alliance, and CareWell Services. We initially focused on some billboards. There are several of them throughout Battle Creek, as well as by the highway and in between Marshall and Albion, and then one in Albion. And our focus was on the fact that for most of us, conversations between individuals really is the best way to address some of the hesitancy. You know, they need to hear from people who received the vaccine and are doing really well and now are protected from the vaccine. They need to hear from people that they trust, what we call trust agents. And so through this campaign, we were able to do the billboards. We also have a social media campaign, and you see the ones in the lower corner are a couple of our vaccine heroes. Freddie McGee from Battle Creek Public Schools and Barbara Keys, who is a retired professor from Albion College. And then we're going to be focusing on doing some others with local young people, high school students and others. And then we also are doing some place-based advertising on storefronts through signs and posters and things like that. We also have, I'm sporting one of the shirts. We have some shirts that we're providing at vaccine clinics for those that would like to be vaccinated at those clinics. They can get a shirt. The front says, don't hesitate, vaccinate. And the back says, being vaccinated is my superpower. And then the purple shirts that you see in the slide, those are for our ambassadors, those folks who have gone through the health department training and who have some talking points that they can share and are really equipped to answer some of the questions that their friends, family members, and neighbors might have. And so we're excited about this campaign. It's been a pretty tremendous collaboration between these groups, and we hope that others will share these. Many of these images are available on the CareWell Services Facebook page, as well as the Albion Healthcare Alliance Facebook page. So we hope that you would share these. We also, if you would like to have your very own Facebook social media billboard, we would be glad to get a picture of you in a shirt and share that image with you so that others can see that and you can have those conversations as well.
Anything further, Carla?
That's it.
Okay, Carla Fails. Thank you so much for that great report. We appreciate it. Coming up next is comments from elected officials. And we'll start with Senator Bizon.
Hi, everyone. This is Karen. I work in Senator Bizon's office. He is in session this morning and afternoon. So just wanted to report one thing legislatively. The Senate on Tuesday passed a federal coronavirus relief funding bill for K-12 schools in the amount of about $4.4 billion. And so that has moved one step closer to the governor's desk. I think from here that bill goes to the House for consideration there. It did pass 35-0 in the Senate. And districts must use a portion of the funds to address learning loss. I think locally, some of the school districts, I've just heard anecdotally, some of the school districts are having some summer school programming going on with that. So I think that's all that I have. Thanks, guys.
All right, Karen, thank you for the update. We appreciate your time. Next up, Representative Hatzma.
Good afternoon. I don't have anything that's specifically COVID-19 to present. I appreciate the opportunity to continue to learn what's happening on the county and city level and news from Carl about what CareWell Services is doing. Thank you.
Okay, Jim, thanks very much for chiming in. We appreciate it. Representative Hall. County elected officials. Tribal elected officials. City elected officials. Township elected officials. And village elected officials. Okay. We'll move on to our final couple slides. Best information sources right here for you. And our contact us, the Calhoun County JOC or Joint Operations Center Public Information Officers. Lucy, Victor, and Jessica do a fine job. Glad everybody could tune in today. Thank you very much for taking the time. We'll see you live in 2 weeks. Have a great day and a wonderful week.